so fucking strong. Bastard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike Reid.
Listen. Shut up, Trappy. Geezer went to the doctor. The doctor said, can I help you, mate? He said, yes, I've come for an examination. When the doctor examined, he said, mate, you've got AIDS. He said, what? He said, you've got AIDS. Not only have you got AIDS, you've got a special strain of AIDS. He said, what's that? He said, HIV 556. He said, what? He said, you've got HIV 556. He said, what does that mean? He said, what it mean? You'll be dead within 3 days. Oh, he said, turn it in, will you? He said, I'm telling you, you'll be dead within 3 days. He went home to see his mum. He said, Mum, I've got HIV 556. She said, son, what does that mean? He said, Mum, I'll be dead within 3 days. She said, what a shame. He said, a shame? A shame? He said, come down to bingo hall with me. He said, the bingo hall? I've only got 3 days left. Down to bingo hall he went. He played bingo. He won everything. 4 corners, any line, top line, full house. Up come the national grid. £670,000 he won. The bingo hall caller said, son, I've been a bingo caller for 41 years. I've never seen anybody so lucky. He said, lucky? Lucky? I've got HIV 556. Fuck me, said the bingo caller, you won the raffle as well. Trivia. Here we are, London Palladium. Greatest theatre in the world. Poxy dressing rooms, though. I've been in bigger women. What's the difference between a penis and a bonus? Well, your wife will always blow your bonus. What do you call a dog with no tongue? Scruffy bollocks. What's the difference between light and hard? Well, you can always go to sleep with the light on. This boy and girl punk rocker were talking. They were listening to some music. And the girl punk rocker said to the boy punk rocker, is that Johnny Rotten? He said, no, I've only used it twice. How do you make a woman moan after a man's had a climax? Wipe your dick on her curtains. Listen. There was these 2 cows in the field, see, and it was a lovely day, the blue skies, little fluffy clouds, and all the birds were chirping. One of these cows went, moo. The other one went, you bastard. I was going to say that. Do you like silly stories like that, eh? 2 dogs were walking down the road. One dog said to the other one, do you use a rubber when you make love? The other one went, Durex. He said, no, I asked you first. Listen. You haven't heard the O.J. Simpson case. His lawyer went up to the night. He said, look, some good news and bad news. He said, what's the bad news? He said, your defence lawyer, I'm giving it up. He said, your bank of rights guilty. They found your blood in the car. They found your blood in the hair. They found your blood in the gloves. O.J. said, Jesus Christ, what's the good news? He said, your cholesterol's very low. This Eskimo drove into an Eskimo garage. He said to the Eskimo mechanic, he said, the car's running rough. The Eskimo mechanic said, what's wrong with it? He said, I don't know. The Eskimo mechanic lifted out the bonnet. He said, I see the problem there. He said, what's the problem? He said, you've blown a seal. No, he said, it's frost. Quasimodo walked into Burton's. He said, have you got a suit to fit me? The governor said, if we have, someone's going to get the fucking sack. Quasimodo wanted his hump removed, so he walked in the doctor's surgery, walked up to the receptionist. The receptionist said, did you ring the bell? He said, don't take the piss, he said. So he walked in the surgery, the doctor said, "Do you want your arm removed, Quasi?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Get undressed." Quasi Modo took off 8 overcoats, 4 Macs, 2 suits, 19 jumpers, 2 shirts. The doctor said, "Hang on a minute, Quasi, hang on. When was you last at school?" Quasi went, 47 years ago. Doctor said, "Didn't you ever wonder what happened to your fucking satchel?" Anyway, I'm glad you're laughing. I don't know what I'm grinning about. I've got to go into hospital tomorrow. I've got to have a mole removed from the end of my dick. It's the last time I fucked one of them. Listen, turn that bleeding round. Turn around, for Christ's sake. Now, it's nice to be here tonight. I met a mate of mine here tonight. I ain't seen him for a long time. Little old fella's got a bit of a stutter. I said, "How are you, Tom?" He went, I'm for there. Fine. I said, "Have you got a job yet?" Well, apparently he's got a job. He's walking past his place. There was a notice in the window. Wanted salesman. He walked in, he said, "I want to be a salesman, I want to be a salesman, I want to be a salesman, I want to be a salesman." The governor said, "Look, I don't think you're really cut out for this, mate." He said, "Yeah, I want to be a salesman, I want to be." He said, Look. He said, "Take these 10 Bibles." He said, "Go away." He said, "Come back in a month's time, let me know how you got on." An hour later, my mate walked back in. The governor said, "You haven't sold 10 Bibles in an hour." He said, "Look, take these 20 Bibles." He said, "Go away, come back in 2 months, let me know how you got on." 2 hours later, my mate walked back in. The governor said, "You haven't sold 20 Bibles in 2 hours." He said, He said, "Well, how'd you do it?" He said, "I walk up to the door, I walk up to the door, I walk up to the door, I knock on the door. When a person comes down, I say, do you want to buy a Bible, or shall I fucking read you one?" Ah, man, it's nice to hear people like Myla. Let's get rid of this bleeding jacket, for Christ's sake. Why don't you show us your plums and make us all laugh? I normally throw on the floor, but it's a present from the wife. I found it hanging at the back of the bed when I got in early last night. Yeah, nice to hear people grin, for Christ's sake. Oh, I mean, you must be like me, sick to death. Every time you go up in the morning, you open a paper, switch on the box, listen to the radio. There's aggravation going in every quarter of this earth. It gets right up my bugle. And we're always involved. I mean, what was our last thing? Saddam Hussein, Desert Storm. Jesus Christ. Having said that, of course. That is one savage regime, Saddam Hussein. Look, if a man gets caught stealing that, they cut his right hand off, as you know. If the same man gets caught, they cut his left hand off. Only thing you can steal after that is fucking donuts. Yes, Operation Desert Storm. We were there. The Yanks were there. French sent 2 planes. They got fucking lost on the way. Germans sent 5,000 towels to lay on the beach. Italians surrendered just in case. 160 degrees in the shade, and the Irish sent 2 fucking icebreakers. Do you know what really incenses, man? It really gets up my bugle when they start making money out of glorifying war. I was sitting down the other day watching a bit of sport on the TV. I switched over to BBC Two, and that movie was on Zulu. A perfectly true story, as you know. 168 officers and men staved off 56,000, I repeat that, 56,000 Zulus. And you remember, the Zulus were taunting the Welsh Guards by banging their assegais on their shields. Hoya, 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 hoya. And the Welsh Guards riding behind their bales of straw. All of a sudden, behind a ridge, a dozen Zulus come out. They started to throw their assegais over. 2 Welsh Guards fell down. One of the spear in his shoulder, one of the spear in his thighs. I'm right in the middle of it. Remember, perfectly true, up he got diarrhea, didn't he? Come on, boys. Let's give it a one. Men of Harlech, remember? On came the Zulus. They started off 4 on poison arrows. There were soldiers dying, writhing and egging to the floor with these poison arrows. Some of the arrows were missing because they were dipped in Aramis. They had nothing to do with it. On they came. Di was still there. Men of Harlech. All of a sudden, you looked up the mountainside. You could not see a blade of grass. Just a sea of black bodies coming to these Welsh Guards. It didn't worry Di, he was still there. Man, all of a sudden up got the sergeant. He said, Di, for fuck's sake, sing them something they know. Jesus Christ. The army's not the same as it used to be, I'm sure. I know that I'm getting not young in years anymore, but I remember when I joined the army, going up to sign on and all that, going and sodding about, I went up for the medical. And there's about 4 or 5 geezers in front of me. The first one went up to the sergeant. I said, "What's your name, lad?" He went, "McCoy." He said, "McCoy, what do you do delivering, lad?" He said, "I'm a puff, sir." He said, "A what?" "Are you puff?" "What do you mean a puff?" He said, "I work in a candle factory, sir. I puff, 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 puff the candle, sir." Oh, he said, "Oh, candle factory. On your way, lad. Next one, what's your name?" He said, "McCoy, sir." He said, "What are you delivering, McCoy?" He said, "I'm a puff, sir." He said, "Another bleeping puff." He said, "Are you a relation to him?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Right, lad. What do you work in a candle factory?" He said, "No, sir. I work in a glass blowing factory. And I'm called a puff because I puff, 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 puff up the glasses." "Oh, I puff the glasses, all right. Next, what's your name?" He said, "McCoy." "You bastard," he said. He said, "McCoy, what do you do for a living?" He said, "I'm a puff, you bastard, bastard," he said. He said, "Another puff, eh? You work in a candle factory?" He said, "No, I don't, you bastard," he said. "Do you work in a glass blowing factory?" He said, "No, I don't." He said, "What do you do then?" He said, "I'm the real fucking McCoy." And this sergeant walking down all these ranks of soldiers, and he got this big rattan cane under his arm. You know how powerful they are. And he walked up the first geezer, he hit him straight across the leg with his... Bang, he went. He went, "Did that hurt, lad?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Why not?" He said, "Because I'm a paratrooper, sir." He said, "Good lad, good lad." He walked up next geezer, hit him straight across the face with his rattan cane. Kurt Runch. He come up in a big blue welt. "Frobbo, frobbo." He said, "Did that hurt, lad?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Why not?" He said, "I'm a paratrooper, sir." He said, "Good lad." He's walking about 5 paces down, there's a geezer there with his dick hanging out. He went, "Wallop! Did that hurt, lad?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "Why not?" He said, "The fella's behind me, sir." Let's see what sort of orders we've got. Listen. Geezer went on holiday. He come back off holiday. His mate's waiting for him at the airport. He said, "Oh, Tom, how are things?" He went, "I've got some good news and bad news." He said, "What's the bad news?" He said, "Your dog's dead." He said, "The dog's dead? What are you talking about? It's only a pup." He said, "Well, the horse kicked it in the throat." He said, "The horse kicked it in the throat? What are you talking about? What frightened the horse?" Oh, he said, "The stables were on fire." He said, "The stables were on fire? And he just had a bleeding built. How did that start?" He said, "It was the smoke and flames from the main house." Oh, he said, "Don't tell me the bloody house has burned down. How did that occur?" He said, "A candle fell off your father's coffin." Whoa! He said, "Me dad's dead. When did this happen?" He said, 2 weeks after your mum." Whoa! He said, "What's the good news?" He said, "Well, the heat from the flames have brought the fucking deaths up early." Geezer and his bird went round to his mate's house, rung the bell, nothing. Rung the bell again, nothing. He said to his bird, "I bet he's bleeding forgot." He said, "You don't think so?" He said, "Yeah, I bet he's forgot." They both walked outside. He plunged his hands in his pocket, sat on the bloody wall. Half hour later, his mate turns up with his bird. He said, "Where you been, Dave?" He said, "What are you talking about, where have I been?" He said, "Where you been?" He said, "We're supposed to be going out at 7 o'clock. Oh, he said, "Tommy, so I'm sorry I forgot." He said, "Yeah, you forgot." He said, "I'm sick and tired of you forgetting. All the boys are, and your mum and dad. What's the matter with you? Where you been anyway?" He said, "I've been to one of these clinics." He said, "What sort of clinic?" He said, "A clinic for improving your memory." Oh, he said, "I'm glad you're doing something about it." He said, "Well, how do they do that?" He said, "It's all done by word association. You think of one word and it reminds you of another one." Oh, he said, "Great. Well, you are doing something about it. That's true. What was the name of the clinic?" Oh, he said, "Mark it." Oh, 1 minute. Word association. That's right. What's the name of that flower with a long green stem with all thorns coming out of it and petals at the end? He said, "A rose." He said, That's right. Rose, what was the name of that fucking clinic? There was these 2 geezers, mates all their life, best fishing pals. They haven't seen each other all season. They met right at the back end of the season. He said, "Charlie, how are you?" He said, "I'm all right, Tell." He said, "How was your season?" He said, "I had a real trumpy season, but I got to own up." Right at the end of the season, he said, "I caught the biggest pike I've ever seen in my life." He said, "Great, how big was it?" He said, 12 foot long. Oh, he said, "Turn it in, will ya?" How much did it weigh? He said, half a ton. Oh, he said, what you got me down as, some sort of pilchard? He said, it was half a ton. He said, how was your season anyway? He said, I'm glad you've asked me, innit? He said, me and the boat boys went out boat fishing. He said, I got stuck into something. He said, what was it? He said, I'm going to tell you. He said, I couldn't get it off the ground. He said, so all the fellas went to the back of the boat, and it took me 4 hours to get it to the surface. He said, what sort of a fish was it? He said, funny enough, it wasn't a fish. It was one of these lanterns off the back of an old Spanish galleon, and it must have been lying in silt for centuries because it was in pristine condition. So much so, the candle was still alight. His mate went, turn it in, will ya? He said, all right, you knock 6 foot off your fish and I'll blow the fucking candle out. Lovely bit. Oh, you know, it all goes sometimes for each and every one of us. I've had 3 real trumpy weeks. Started off about 3 weeks ago Wednesday. I finished work and I'm going home and I fancy a Chinese. So I've gone in a Chinese, so I said, give us number 3, 14, 18 and 64, pal, will you? He said, how much is that? I said, you know, boom, I'll give him the money. So he went, what do you do for a living? I said, what? He said, what do you do for a living? Oh, I said, I'm a comic. And it's like, anybody you tell me you're a comic, oh, tell us a gag. You know, he's done the same thing. You told me a joke. I said, what? I said, you told me a joke. As you said that, the bleeding frying pan went boom. I said, your pan's on fire, pal. He said, what? I said, wok. He went, oh, who there? The day after that, we get burgled. It was gay burglars. I knew that because the furniture being rearranged and there was a quiche in the oven, right? So on the Friday, I'm sitting down indoors, I'm reading Salman Rushdie's new book, Buddha's a Wanker. Looked outside, the car's gone, so I rung the old bill. I said, I've had the car nicked. He said, where was it parked? It outside. He said, alarmed. I said, I'm not too fucking pleased about it. Stupid questions. I go and buy another car. I bought a Ford Pubics. It's made out of old Corsairs, you know. And I've got to own up, we've all got idiosyncrasies and we've all got, you know, disciplines. And one of my disciplines is I never, ever drink before I work. But afterwards, you know, I love a glass of terps, right? So I'll finish the show. Listen. So I finished my show, fancied a drink. I've had a few, and all right, own up time. I've gone over the top, right? I'm going home, it had been raining just before my house at a big roundabout. I've come up to the roundabout, put the foot on the anchors, it's gone to a 4-wheel skid, hit the roundabout side on, rolled over about 8 times, flattened the bus stop, right? Landed upside down on its roof under a lamppost. Up come this copper. He went, are you drunk? I said, of course I'm drunk, I'm not a fucking stump man. What's the matter with it? Unbelievable. I said, I'm worried about my insect collection. He said, where's that, in the boot? I said, no, it's on the front number plate. I went out again, I bought another car. I bought a Skoda 16 valve. That's 8 in the engine and 8 in the radio. It's got heated rear window so you can keep your hands warm while you're pushing the fucking thing. You may laugh, you may chart, but you know the Skoda was voted the safest car in the world. You might remember it. About 7 months ago, a geezer went over the cliff in a Skoda, fell 500 feet, the car smashed to pieces on the rock below. He got out and walked away unscathed, which only goes to prove nobody wants to be seen fucking dead in a Skoda. What's the difference between a Skoda and a Jehovah's Witness? Well, you can close the door on a Jehovah's Witness. What's the difference between a Skoda and a sheep? Well, you feel less embarrassed getting out of a sheep. But I digress. Got another motor car. I'm coming out of the house the other night. It's pouring down the road. I got 2 miles from my house. There he was standing in the middle of the road, a copper like that. I thought he's never going to be fucking strong enough. He's hit the bonnet. He's bounced off the windscreen. The rain's running on his face. He looked up at me. He said, "You're a silly boy, aren't you?" I said, "I ain't fucking laying out there in the rain, partner." Oh! He'd gone up, dusted himself off, walked over, put his head through the window, which made me laugh because it wasn't open at the time. And then I asked him ridiculous questions. He said to me, "Are you the driver of this vehicle?" "I'm on my own." I said, "It's automatic, but I fucking got to be here." Anyway. The day after that, I'm working, I fancy a drink. I've gone to this pub afterwards. In the corner's a bird sitting there. I mean, was it ugly? I mean, Trumpy. Trumpy, right? It had a face like a bulldog licking a thistle. Now, the only difference between this girl's face and a bulldog's face, bulldogs don't wear lipstick, right? And it's blowing down my ear. I want to talk to it. It's complaining about this, complaining about that. She says, "You know, every time I look in the mirror, I feel sick." I said, "Well, there's fuck all wrong with your eyes." So I'll give it a tug by using the old thing, right? I went, "How would you like to see the soles of your shoes in my wing mirrors?" I've got it outside in the back of the motor, legs right nicks off, legs 9:15. And I'm singing the old love song to her as I'm doing the business, right? Oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Listen. All of a sudden, on the window, open, there's a copper stand there. He said, "Good evening, sir." I went, He said, "What are you doing?" "Well, sir, I'm just necking up, sir." "So I see. Put your fucking neck away." He said, "Blow into this." I turned it in, I'd just thrown it out. He looked at the girl, said, "Rather an attractive young lady. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling a bit horny myself tonight. If I'm next, I won't nick you." I went, "What are you worried about?" I said, "Never fucked a copper before." He must have been feeling a bit lonely because he asked me to accompany him down the station, see? And then they asked the ridiculous questions they do. He said to me, "Give me your name." I said, "What am I going to fucking use?" He said, "Have you got a police record?" I said, "Yeah, I've got Walking on the Moon." I said, "What are all these photographs out around here?" He said, "They're all photographs of wanted criminals." I said, "Why did you nick them when you took their fucking photos?" Do you hear about the copper that found the dead horse in Piccadilly? He couldn't spell Piccadilly, so he dragged the fucking thing to Soho to report it. It don't end there. It's a long way for me to come, so anytime I got half a decent journey, my missus always makes me a sandwich, see? So out here, I said to my boy, "Get the sandwiches out." When I had one bite of this, it was as rotten as a pear. I rang Mum up. I said, "What the bleeding hell was in that sandwich?" She went, "Crab paste." I said, "Where'd you get it?" She said, "The chemist." So, God helps. Anyway, I'm still hungry, right? So we pulled up and gone on one of these little thieves, right? Now. And you get all that bullshit. I'm standing in the queue, the waiter come up, table at 4, we sat down, which really annoyed me. I didn't know who the fucking other 3 were, right? You know what I mean? Halfway through the meal, the waiter come over, he said, "Everything all right?" So I said, "No, it ain't." He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't sell my house." Anyway. So, When the meal was over, I'm sitting there having a snout, you know, I'm watching the traffic in the car park. All of a sudden, in he came. He must have been 22 stone. Long, greasy hair, big, scraggly beard. He had tattoos all over him. Hate, 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 hate. Mother. He said to me, "You're Mike Reid, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." "Yes, I thought so. Gives a push." Yeah, I went, "All right." We went outside, and he sat on a swing. And I come out there, none of us like this. I run a bloody cat over. I was gutted. I pulled up, I found out where the woman lived, and knocked on the door. I said, "I think I'll run your cat over, love." She said, "What did it look like?" I went. She said, "No, what did it look like before you run it over?" I went. So he eventually gets up here. I've got £5 on me, so I thought I'd book in an hotel. What a dive. I thought it was going to be a posh place, because when we walked in, there's two fellas in the corner playing shove excess. So, well, listen, will you listen, for Christ's sake? I've gone upstairs. What a small room. I mean, tiny. I put the key in the lock and broke the fucking window. I run down to the manager. I said, "I've got a leak in the sink." He said, "Have you must, sir?" I said, "What?" I said, "I want a sheet on the bed." He said, "There's a toilet down the hallway." I said, "What?" I said, "I want a sheet for the bed." He said, "You have to ring housekeeping." I looked around, there's a little notice on the wall, "Pressed for service." So I pressed it. Fucking tennis ball hit me in the eye. I'm coming across the road here. This prostitute come up to me. She went, "Hello." I went, "Hello, sweetheart." She said, "Would you like to sleep with me at £50? Well, I said, I'm not all that tired, but I could do with the money, you know. As we walked into the theatre, there's two drunks laying in the gutter. One drunk's blowing up the other drunk's arse. This copper come up and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm giving him the kiss of life." Copper said, "Shouldn't you be at that end?" He said, "You smell his fucking breath." The Queen's going around the hospital. She come up to a fella in the bed. She went, "Hello, my man, what's wrong with you?" I said, "I've got a ball on me plums, Your Majesty." To the Queen, to the Queen. The matron's dragged the Queen away. She come back to this guy. He said, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "That was the Queen." He said, "I'm well aware of who it was." He said, "You don't tell the Queen you had a boil on your plums." He went, "All right, trapper lots." "What should I say?" He said, "Tell the Queen you had a bruise on your back, a cut on your arm, a boil on your leg, but not a boil on your plums." He went, "All right, Mouthy." 5 months later, Princess Margaret is going around the same hospital, come up to the same geezer in the same bed. I said, "Hello, my man, what's wrong with you?" I said, I said, "I've got a bruise in my back." She said, "I'm glad to hear your bollocks are better." That's all. Yes. See that? My foot moves and his mouth works. Two fellas been out drinking all night. They finish their drinking, they're going home. They pass this great big house. On this lawn, a huge lawn in front of this great big house. And on this lawn, there are two dogs at it. One geezer said to his mate, he said, "That's the only way to make love to the old woman." He said, "What way?" He said, "The way them two dogs are on that front lawn." He said, "You never made love to your wife that way." He said, "What are you talking about, you melt? What are you talking about? It's the best position to go in. She kneels over at a 45-degree angle. I sit behind her. We can both watch TV at the same time." Well, he said, "I've been married 9 years and I never made love to my wife the way them two dogs are on that front lawn." His mate said, "Get home tonight, give the old woman a couple of martinis. You're bound to be on the firm." He said the following morning, he said, "How'd you get on?" He said, "Fucking delightful." All night long, bunches of that. He said, "The only thing, it took 10 martinis. Did 10 martinis? Why was that?" He said, "I don't know. She was quite willing to do it after 2, but it took another 8 to get her on that fucking front lawn." Picture the scene. Picture the scene. It is now 12 o'clock midday. This postman has been on duty since 5 a.m. in the morning. And it is pissing down with rain and it's blowing a gale when he's got his last letter left to be delivered 2.5 miles down this country road to this little country cottage. There he was, bent over at a 70-degree angle into the teeth of this gale. The rain's running down his neck. He eventually gets to this little cottage, opens up the gate, turns around and closes it. As he turns back again, there's 2 great paws in his chest with his Rottweiler snapping at his throat. Did his bum go boo or what? All of a sudden, the window opened. This little grey-haired old woman stuck her head out the window. She said, "Don't worry, darling, it's all right, sweetheart, it's all right. Kick his balls." He said, "What?" She said, "Kick his balls, he likes that." Well, this postman had on regulation Dr. Martens. Size 14, 18 lace holes, steel toe caps, Cantonar studs. He went wallop. This Rottweiler went, ho. Little old lady said, "You're in trouble now." He said, "Why is that?" So I meant his balls on the lawn. The weather's been great, hasn't it? I don't give monkeys about the bloody water. We had a summer 4 months. Terrific. That's what we deserve over here. I played plenty of bloody golf. As a matter of fact, I finished golf the other day. I said to my mate, I said, "You fancy a brandy and coffee before we go home?" Hey, he said, "I'll have to bring my little sparrow up first." I said, "Who?" He said, "My little sparrow." I said, "Who's that?" He said, "My old woman." I said, "Why'd you call her a little sparrow? Because she's brown and dowdy?" He said, "No, because she's always chirpy and perky." Oh, so you're going to ring up your little sparrow, I'm going to ring up my little thrush. He said, "Who's that?" I said, "My old woman." He said, "Why do you call her thrush?" I said, "Because she fucking irritates me." It was her birthday last week. I said, "What do you want for your birthday?" He said, "I want a divorce." I said, "I weren't thinking of spending that fucking much." And I tried to make up for it. I swear. I went home the following day with a big bunch of flowers. "Do you want, I suppose I've got to open my legs for them?" I said, "You got a vase?" I met her at a dance years ago. I walked over, I said, "You fancy a dance?" She went, "Yeah, if you like. We may win the spot prize." I said, "It wouldn't surprise me, you're fucking covered in them." So there we was. She went, "You smell nice. What you got on?" I said, "I got hard on, but I didn't think you could smell it." I said, "How you like your eggs in the morning?" She said, "Unfertilised." Oh, I didn't mess about. I got her outside. I didn't worry about hand up the skirt, curly clock springs. Whoa. She went, hang on a minute here. Where's your manners? Tits first. I got her outside. All of a sudden, the fence went over. A geezer came out. He said, "You broke my fence. That cost you £20. I said, "I'm only paying a tenner. I was fucking pushing the other way." Oh, and then we got married. Oh, Christ. I should moan, really. You know, it was a fairy tale wedding. Fucking grim. Oh, and the honeymoon, man. The honeymoon was a total disaster. The old woman's got a nice shower, plenty of perfume, got into bed. I've done the same thing, threw the covers back. I went, "But you got big tits." She said, "What?" I said, "You've got big tit things in it." She went, "This is the first day of our wedding life." I said, "I know that, darling." She said, "If you think for 1 minute you're going to speak to me for the rest of your life like that, you're mistaken." I said, "Wait a minute, sweetheart." She said, No, outside." I said, "What? Outside is wedding." I'm standing out on the balcony, freezing me plums off. All of a sudden, 2 doors down there opened up. A geezer come out. I said, "You all right, mate?" She said, "No, I bleeding ain't." I said, "What's the matter, son?" He said, "I'm on my honeymoon." Yeah, I said, "I know you, Phil. What are you doing out here?" He said, "Well, the old woman's getting undressed, just took her knickers off. I said, she's got a lovely big arse and she's thrown me out." 9 doors up there opened up. I said, the geezer come out. I said, "But you put your foot in it." He said, "No, but I fucking could have done," he said. Jesus Christ. I didn't know what it was like to sleep on my own until I got married. I mean, this may sound like a chauvinist remark, it may sound like it, but what is the point of us fellas getting married? Especially me, I don't understand it. In my case, I might as well have gone out, found a woman I couldn't stand and bought her a fucking house. I mean, I've got to own up time coming up. You know, about a few years after the marriage, the sex was great. I said to my woman one night, "You fancy doing the wheelbarrow position?" She said, "What?" I said, "We do the wheelbarrow position." And how'd you do that? I said, "Well, you take your clothes off, you lay face down on the floor, I'll pick you up by your legs and I go..." She went, "All right, but for fuck's sake, don't push me past me mother's, will you?" Oh, that was it, man. As a matter of fact, my old woman's legs have been together longer than the shadows. Do you know what her idea of oral sex is? To sit me down and fucking talk me out of it. And she ridicules me, man. She at every given opportunity. She's got a new nickname for me now, ever since I've had a vasectomy. She's named me after a bottle of sherry. Sitting there the other day, "Oi, dry sack." She said, "Come and make love to me, I want to time this egg." And I fucking hate runny eggs too. Said, "You make love like a video recorder." I said, "How's that?" She said, "Fast forward, pause and eject." And it's not for the want of trying. I keep trying to liven it all up. I said to her last week, I said, "You know, darling, why don't we try a different position? You know, like, you know, liven our love life up." She said, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, we can do it back to back." She said, "How are we going to do it that way?" I said, "We get another couple in." She said, "I've got a better position." I said, "What's that?" She said, "You come and stand behind this ironing board and I'll lay on the couch scratching me bollocks." I went to the doctors last week. I said, "Doc, I think the wife's dead." He said, "What?" I said, "I think the wife's dead." He said, "What makes you think that?" I said, "Well, the sex is still the same, but the washing's piling up." Hey. Will you listen? The young woman went to the doctors last week. The doctor said, "Can I help you, Mrs. Reid?" He said, "Yes, doctor, I've come for an examination. I've got a slight problem." He said, "What is the problem?" He said, "Well, the baby's got a little infection in the corner of its mouth." The doctor said, "Was the baby breastfed or bottle fed?" He said, "It's breastfed." He said, "May I see your breast, Mrs. Reid?" Oh, he said, "Thank you very much. Yes, thank you." He said, "I'm not embarrassing you, Mrs. Reid." She said, "No, it's rather nice, actually, doctor. But it's the daughter's baby I've come to see you about." And when she came out and said, "While I was at the doctor's, he gave me a thorough examination. Here I got breasts, legs, feet, and ankle of a 17-year-old girl." I said, "Yeah, what do you say about your big fat arse?" "We never fucking mentioned you once." And when I look back at a married life, you know, I mean, for years, you know, when we first got married, we was trying for a family, nothing. In the end, the old woman had to go to one of these sperm banks. And the doctor said, "Come in, Mr. Reid." He said, "Take your knickers off, lay on the couch, keep your legs up." And he said, "I won't be a minute. I've got to go to the fridge and have, you know, get a little bottle of sperm out." He come back 5 minutes later with no trousers and pants on. My woman said, "What are you doing?" He said, "We're out of bottles, you'll have to have draft." He said, see, the problem with marriage to me is always the same. It's a ridiculous statement, if you will, because I'm one myself in-laws. My mother-in-law is an 18 carats, 100% rat bag. I know I've said it before, I make no excuses. 32 stone the woman weighs. No matter where you're sitting in the room, she's sitting next to you. Ooh. First time my father-in-law wanted to give her one, he climbed on top and said, can I switch the light off, love? I said, it's why? He said, the bulb's burning my fucking arse. I said it before, it's true. It's true. And he's getting worse, the father-in-law. He's thick as two planks, and the older I get... Listen to this. He's walked in the other night with a handful of dog's crap, a handful of it, and said to me, look at how I nearly stood in. 2 years ago, I bought him a metal detector. He was down 60 feet before he realised he had steel toe caps on. Listen to this, listen to this, listen. He went for a sauna the other day, walked in his shop, took his clothes off. When the steam cleared, he was in a fish and fucking chip shop. He's unbelievable. And you know what it is with families? I mean, when you're involved or you're sitting down around, believe it or not, I've never been a nosy people. I never stick my trunk in anybody else's business. But sometimes you can't help earwigging because it's right happening around you. The mother-in-law and the father-in-law don't get on. Haven't done for years because the main reason is the old woman still likes a bit of the other. The old man don't want to know. I don't think he can get half a thick one. You know what I mean? Listen, listen. So consequently, they don't talk. The old man's gone out the other day, he's bought a new pair of shoes. So he's come home, he knows mother-in-law's going to take no notice of him. So what has he done? He's gone in the bedroom, stripped his clothes off, except for these shoes, walked out in the kitchen where she was. Said, know anything unusual about me? I mean, no. You should have another look. I mean, no. You should have another look. My dick is pointing at them. Oh, I said, new shoes. But you didn't buy a new fucking hat, wasn't it? He's murder. He's and the stories go back for years since he was a bloody toddler. It never... I'll give you an idea. When his first daughter was born, he was in the hospital waiting for the baby to be born. Out come the nurse with a black baby. Obviously a mistake. Said to my father-in-law, is this yours? He said, I suppose so. She burns every fucking thing. I mean it. He's come out of a pub the other night as drunk as a sack, taking a shortcut home for the graveyard. He's so drunk he's fell in an open grave. There he is for the next half hour. Help! I'm cold, I'm cold. Another drunk come by. Of course you're cold. They haven't fucking covered you up, you see? And she's awful. The mother-in-law is awful. She's withering. Got that withering look and come around my house the other day. She said, well, what's it on the wall? Modern art? I said, no, it's a fucking mirror. And I'm a lucky boy. That's not a facetious restatement. I mean it with great sincerity. I really am. I've got a little cottage. I live in the country in the middle of a tiny little village. We've got a local pub called the Cricketers. The governor's name is Graham, who's in it tonight. So where are you, Gray? Yeah, he's in it tonight. There, Graham down out. Lovely man, nice bit of entertainment. On the odd occasion, he gets... we all get going there. Game of darts, game of pool. Thoroughly enjoy it. As I say, on the odd occasion, Graham gets a bit of entertainment in here. Last Saturday night, there's a bit of entertainment. I'm not working. We're all in there. Kids, in-laws, outlaws, everybody's there. In comes the entertainment. This geezer has got a full-grown 504-pound lion. He's got this lion on stage. He pulled his hands in this lion's jaws, levered open these lion's jaws, undone his flies, put his wink in this lion's mouth. Listen to what I'm saying. Reached into his pocket, pulled out a 4-pound steel club hammer. He's hit this lion right on top of the biscuit. Wallop! This lion's jaws have closed a 1/16 of an inch either side this geezer's dick. He said, there you are, ladies and gentlemen, a very difficult and dangerous trick. Anybody in the audience like to try that? I will give them £100. My mother-in-law got up and said, I'll try it, but don't shoot me on the head as hard as you hit that fucking lion. Jesus Christ. I was so embarrassed. Wait a minute, listen to me, listen. It's her birthday last week. The lady's 72 years old, right? Now she's... Father-in-law's come up to me. Mike, I said, what? He said, Mum wants a vibrator for her birthday. I said, turn it in, Dad, she's 72. He said, she bloody wants one. I know nothing about it. Come down to the sex shop. I'm down there, right? Father-in-law said to the geezer behind the counter. He said, wife wants a vibrator. He said, all up now, man. Big ones, small ones, little ones, long ones, fat ones, thin ones. Green ones, blue ones, orange ones. My mother-in-law said, I'll have that red one. I said, don't embarrass me, Mum, that's a fire extinguisher. Oh, Christ. Oh, dear. Oh. Talking about sex shop, met a girl the other night, 38, 45, what I call a handsome woman. We had a great night out, nice meal, couple of bottles of wine, got back to her motor car. She had a large motor car. That's why I like, you know, girls around about that age, they know what they want. She said, fancy making love to me in the back of the car? I thought, well, I ain't 20 years older than her. What the old bone? Yeah, sod it, you know, changes as good as the rest. Got in the motor car, she's undone the bag, pulled this Durex out. Well, when she's pulled it out of the packet, it's got all lumps on it, warts, feathers, wobbly bits. I said, what the bleeding hell's that for? She said, I get more pleasure out of it that way. I turned it inside out. I thought, fuck it, why should she have all the fun? Geezer walked in a restaurant, he went up to a fella, he said, don't I know you, mate? He said, no, I don't think so. He said, yeah, aren't you John Barnes of Liverpool Football Club? He said, as a matter of fact, I am. Cole, he said, I'm so pleased to meet you, I really am. Do you know Ian Rush? He said, what are you talking about, do I know Ian Rush? I train with him every day. I play football with him every Saturday. He's one of my best mates. Oh, is it really? Why did you pass him the fucking ball then? This big black girl was sitting on a stool in a nightclub, and this black fella come past, he had 2 pints of beer in his hand. As he walked past, he went, hold on, woman, you fucked in my whitbread. She said, no, I'm Tessa Sanderson. A fella walked into a religious instruction shop. As he walked in his shop, there's a black geezer behind the counter. He said, could I have that lithograph of the Lord's Prayer, please? He said, OK, man. He said, how much is it? He said, £48. He said, there you are, son. Black fella said, do you want it wrapped? He said, yes, please. He went, oh, the Lord is my shepherd. I want it wrapped. An own-up time now. We live in a multiracial society. We've got to accept it, and that's the way the things are. But there are always the last bastions, well, of snobbery, if you will. This black fella went to join the golf club. So he sat there in front of the secretary. The secretary said, can I help you? Yes, I said, I want to join the golf club. He said, no, the club that you want is the municipal, and it's 5 minutes down the road. No, he said, no, no. I want to join this golf club. The secretary said, watch my lips. Watch my lips. The golf club that you want is a municipal, and it's 5 minutes down the road. This black fella put his hand in his pocket. He wore the notes out like that. He said, I want to join this golf club, and my name is Linford Christie. Oh, he said, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Christie, I'm embarrassed. In that case, it's 2 minutes down the fucking road. I would imagine it must be very obvious, you ladies and gentlemen, listen to me talk. I come from a working class family. I was born in the East End of London, British sector. Raised up round here by my old nan and gran. I always talk about my nan because she'd been dead and gone many years, but I miss her to this day. I loved her so much. Wonderful sense of humour, my nan. She walked in a bleeding ironmonger's once. She said, can I have that picture frame? The geezer went, do you want a screw for it? She said, no, but I'll give you a blowjob for the toaster. She had that, you know what I mean? That homely sense of humour. Oh, yes, she was funny, dry as a bone. And I tell you, my nan was also a very, very sexy woman. I remember at the age of 60, I mean, she had no meat on her bones, lovely complexion, and she was making a cup of tea one day in the kitchen. All of a sudden, the room went pitch black. She's looked out the window, there's this great pan-technical lorry with this big airy arm hanging out of it. She walked out, she went, hello, driver, who happened to be a nice-looking fella. Here are you, darling. She said, I'm just making a cup of tea. Do you fancy one, driver? Of course, yeah. He jumped out of the lorry, come to the door. She went, look, I'm making a cup of tea, but I'm feeling a bit horny. She said, can I play with one of your plums? So she undone his flies. She said, you like that driver? Cool. He said, it is absolutely delightful. I said, can I play with the other one? Yeah. He said, go on, help yourself. How's that, driver? He said, that's unbelievable. She said, good. Well, don't fucking park there again. And I remember, you know, you remember so many things about your family. My man must have been 82, and she was on she was on this Zimmer frame, and she walked into an electrical shop. She went to the geezer behind the counter. She said, have you got any vibrators? He went, yeah, I've got these here, Nine. It's 6 inches long. She went, no, that's not the one. No, that's no good. He said, well, I've got these 12-inch ones. She went, no, that's no good either. She said, well, this is the biggest one we got, 14 inch. He went, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. How do you switch it off? But a lot of people were testifying it on night. In them days, there was no money about. My old nan didn't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, I remember my nan telling me my granddad and nan were sitting in the kitchen one night. The gas oven blew up. It blew my nan and granddad through the roof. And my nan swears that was the only time they went out together for 18 years. And you know what it was like in them days? Huge families. I mean, 12 was not a vast family. 16, 17 kids. And once the kids had grown up, the old man didn't want to know. As long as he had a few copper coins, he was down a pub. 6 didn't come into it anymore. And my nan went down Ridley Road Market one day, and she found one of the, well, we had never any black or brown people, but she's found one down there. All the robes on, full turbo. And he had this pipe and this wicker basket. He went... And a rope come out this wicker basket. My nan said to him, "Will that work on anything?" Bang ding bang dang bang ding ding bang dang bing. I think she gave him 3.5 crowns. She's gone home. My old granddad's lying in bed. Out come the pipe. And the sheets began to rise. My nan thought, this is it. And it got bigger and bigger. She whipped the sheet back and his pyjama cord was going... Well, they didn't have nothing. And my old granddad, he was a huge man, a massive man, very proud man, huge, 6'7". The only job he ever in his life, he was a lifeguard on Clacton Beach. Couldn't swim a stroke, but he could fucking walk out a long way, you know. And men in that period of time, and they were so proud of what they did in the First World War. I remember I was knee high to a grasshopper, and my granddad took me up to the cenotaph on Remembrance Day. And I remember my hand was in his, and he's walking along. My old granddad had a bloody war wound. And as you know, I don't want to get involved in all that, but you see some of these men actually fought for this country. You know, legless in wheelchairs, but they all wore their medals with great pride. And my granddad was the same, and he was proud of his war wound. And we're walking along like that. My old granddad's dragging his leg, and a poor old sod was coming by him. He was like that. My old granddad passed him, went, war wound, Flanders, 1917. The guy went, oh yeah, he said, dog shit. He said, just now. He said, oh, but he had a great sense of humour. He was dry, because if you remember, there was among my age, people in them days, there were so many characters about. He didn't have to come to London, any big town, but lots of characters. My granddad was a character. He was talking to this Yank once. He said, Yank said, hey, Charlie, he said, what's that building up there? My old granddad said, it's an hospital, son. He said, you know, back home in the States, we've got them 10 times that big. My old granddad said, I ain't surprised, son, it's a fucking mental hospital. Yeah. He said, now just hold on a minute here, Charlie. That's a little unfair. America's a big place. We've got a place there in America called the Grand Canyon. You stand one side, you shout across, it's 3 days before you get the answer back. My old granddad said, I know what you mean, pal. We blew the bugle in 1939. You never fucking heard it in 1941. Yeah. Oh, listen. My granddad was walking down the road one day. He's come round the corner. He's confronted by this huge funeral. And this funeral was being led by this great big Rottweiler. And it was all drooling at the mouth. It had them big spikes around its neck. And behind the bleeding Rottweiler were 6 guys carrying this coffin. And behind this coffin was 894 men, all in black with the black ties. My granddad said to the geezer, he said, what's going on? He said, it's my wife's funeral. Oh, he said, oh, mate, he said, I'm sorry. He said, I didn't realise. Your wife's funeral? He said, yeah. He said, what happened? He said, well, he said, the dog killed her. He said, the bloody dog killed her? What happened there? He said, well, it's my third wife. He said, and everything goes all right for a little while, and as soon as the wife starts moaning, the Rottweiler leaps at her, rips her throat out. My gran said, couldn't borrow that dog, could I? Fella said, get back in the fucking queue. And you go to the other bloody extent, you go to the other way, kids, and I don't get this, not a fuddy-duddy way, but kids nowadays, man, they've got it so good. Not in every respect, I'm talking about entertainment-wise. They've got TVs, video games. I wouldn't like to live nowadays as a kid because I think they've got too much pressure. But I mean, their education, 40 in a class these days, that's a lot of kids. When I was a youngster, 197 in my class. By the time they called the register, it was fucking playtime. School days. Remember the first time I had sex? I was on my own. And there was no money about. I remember my old man saying to me, what do you want for your birthday, son? I said, well, as a matter of fact, Dad, I've seen a bike in a shop down the road. It's £10, 12 and 6. I've had my eye on it for a couple of months. He said, well, keep your eye on it, son. You ain't liable to get your fucking arse on it. And he meant it. He meant it. I remember laying in my bed, because my bed was next to my mum and dad's bed at Christmas time, with my ear to the wall, trying to think what I was going to get for Christmas. And all of a sudden I thought, I'm going to get a puppy. I'm going to get a puppy. Because I heard my dad say, well, stroke it. Go on, it won't bite you. Then I thought, no, I'm going to get a bird. I'm going to get a bird. Because I heard my mum say, don't let it fly all over the sheets. Catch it in your pyjamas. And I thought I'd investigate further. I've opened my door, got to my mum's bedroom door, opened that up. I was absolutely gutted. And they used to tell me off for sucking me thumb. One of the great things I've found in life, and I say this with sincerity, being a granddad, man, that's bloody wonderful. I'm talking about all you young fellas out there with families. You know, you've still got fire in your belly, you're out there earning your money to keep the family, and you still like to go out over the odd pint. And so what I'm trying to say is, you miss that wonderful transitional period from a baby in arms to when they start to grow up. That's the great time. But fortunately, if you become a granddad, life gives you a second bite of the cherry. Because as a granddad, you can pour that love and attention. I'll give you an idea. This old granddad in Germany, he's got his grandson on his lap, and they're going through a photograph album. Isn't this my grandson? It's when I was in the German army. He said, is that when he was a Nazi, Granddad? He said, I was never a Nazi. Never a Nazi. He said, no. And this, my grandson, is when I was in a tank regiment in Romania. He said, is that when he was a Nazi, Granddad? He said, I was never a Nazi. Never a Nazi. He said, and this, my grandson, is when I was at a Hitler rally. He said, is that when he was a Nazi, Granddad? He said, grandson, I was never a Nazi. He said, but Granddad. He said, you're doing that. He said, yes. There was a reason for this. On this particular occasion, Hitler was saying how Germany would be the greatest nation in the world. We would rule the world. And all we had to do was work 18 hours a day with no tea breaks, no lunch breaks, and no money. And all I said was, here, hang on a fucking minute. And will you stop that? Listen. And I guarantee you, anybody that's got, kids out there, if they're left home or they're teenage, at some stage in the game, whether it be male or female, I've dropped you in the cart. Guarantee it. My wife's sister, Margaret, used to stay with us all the bloody time, weekends. And my mate was going to the bathroom one day where my missus was. He said, Mummy, why has Daddy got two winkles? She said, I only got one, darling. He said, no, he's got two. She said, don't get upset, darling. What are Daddy's two winkles? He said, he's got a little one that he goes for a wee-wee with, and a big one that he cleans Auntie Margaret's teeth with. Oh, Scotty beat me up, for Christ's sake. Oh, man. There's a fella running down the road. The geezer said, where you going, mate? He said, a lion's escaped from the zoo. He said, what way did it go? He said, you don't think I'm fucking chasing it, do you? Do you hear about the professor that invented the self-lubricating pussy? He wrapped it up in a parcel, took it home to his old woman, she unwrapped it and said, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, teach it to cook and fuck off. This duck booked into an hotel with his bird. They've gone upstairs and the duck rang a receptionist. He said, can you send up a Durex? Receptionist said, shall I put it on your bill? He said, I ain't a fucking pervert. There was this German-Japanese fella and a penny talking about technology. All of a sudden, they're talking, the phone went. This German took a pen out of his pocket and went, "Hello, Berlin, yeah. Danke, yeah. I will ring you back tomorrow, thank you." He says, "There you are, gentlemen, German technology. The phone in the pen." As he put it away, the phone went again. This chap took a tooth out. "Hello, Tokyo. Hi. Hi. So there you are, gentlemen, Japanese technology, phone in tooth." Paddy went, "Hang on a minute. I got a fax coming through." Jeez. Do you about the two pregnant nuns met in the street? One said, "Hello, my dear, I haven't seen you since Benedictus." Do you about the monk who caught his dick in a bell rope and told himself off? No. Do you know what? It's... Like all aspects, when you join, I mean, either join the Cubs when you're a kid or the Scouts or when you go in the bloody army, at the end of the day, you always wind up with the crap end of the stick of the jobs. This little bloody nun, she just joined the monastery, poor little girl, and they give her the crap end of the... And she'd been out since 5 a.m. in the morning, she's been digging the garden, and she's been sowing all the seeds and reaping this and raking that, and it was 8 o'clock at night, the sun was going down, and she'd turn around and she washed her hands in a bowl of water, and she dried them, and she turned back again, there's all the birds pecking at her seeds. She went berserk. She went, "Back off, back off, back off." All of a sudden, up come the Mother Superior and said, "How dare you? How dare you use that language in the... How dare you? You say shoo. Then they'll fuck off." Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the band. Thanks. You know... What about the geezer guy lying in bed with his bird? He's giving her a service. She went, "I'm kinky." He said, "So am I." She went, "Squeeze me boobs. And I squeeze a little bastard. She said, "Bite the nips. Get the cheeks of my arse, pull them apart and slap them." She said, "It's come out." She said, "I'm not surprised, I've forgotten what I was fucking doing." You may not believe this, but it's perfectly true. I don't particularly like swearing in front of ladies, especially ladies that never met in my life before. So if it got a bit rough round the edges, girls, I do apologise. But by the same token, I hope there was something there that you could at least have a grin at. You know, I don't like to offend too much. I can't wish you, well, I can wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But what I can say is there's something that we can do with each other, and it don't cost a copper coin, and it makes this world go round so much better. Be nice to each other. Pack up on my cares and woe. Here I go, singing low. Bye, 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 blackbird. 'Cause where somebody waits for me, sugar is sweet and so is she. Bye, 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 blackbird. Hey, no one here can love or understand poor me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Light my bed and light the lights. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, ba 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 ba. Yeah. 'Cause no one here can love or understand for me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the lights. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, I said blackbird. I'd like to leave you with a passing thought, something to make you think. If New Age travellers like travelling, why the fuck do they moan when the police move them on? Blackbird. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming down. Good night, God bless. Thanks for coming down, darlings, and my name is Reid.